Recording in progress.
Really? Well, let's just see here. Oh, I could put it there, but no, satellite right there. No, trying to center this. Okay. Small motion. Someone joined and then left. Hmm. Wait. Hello. You are both muted, so I can't hear you. You'll need to click on to unmute. Hi.
Yes, hello. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm committed.
Daddy, nini funga hapo, enda ufunge screen yako. Enda hapo kwa video ufunge ya nini.
Enda peleke mama.
Hello.
Mfungie nini kichekech. Mfungie video. Lazima onekane kweli. Usipora tumsikize.
Ngoja kidogo. Hii simu hapo hivi inasumbua.
Kiswahili. Where is it?
Yes, Winnie, your video is not turned on.
I prefer that. Let's wait for some. Let's wait for this. We're waiting for some of them, okay? Before we start, let's wait for them.
It's fine. Oh, what happened? We lost your father. I would like to everybody show their video, please, so I can see them while we're talking.
Oh, nikusikie kio hivi. Naonekana sasa. Yeye anioni.
Chepkech, can you mute your daddy akiongea ndo isilete nini? Mute your daddy ndo isilete distraction because anaongea huko
So tutakuwa
tunamsikia.
nasikiza tu Kenya.
Mute.
Cindy anaongea.
Unless it's your time to talk. I want you to mute your... Unless it's your time to talk, okay?
It's like you're having internet problems, I guess, huh? They keep dropping off. Is that what's happening? Hello?
Yes, I guess they have internet problem.
Yeah. There he is again. Fades in and out. That's frustrating sometimes with bad internet.
Kwanza.
Okay, I'll start the meeting. Surveyor is here. All right, so I'll start the meeting and I'll start by introduction to the introduction. The purpose of the meeting today is to help clear up any misunderstanding between us, as suggested by Tarc. I'll begin by introducing everyone here. Seve, we can see on the other side, this is Tarc, whom I've been known since 2022. I initially worked for him as an assistant in his Airbnb business until I resigned. Then in August 2023, he hired me for a full-time position as assistant in research and video editing. I've had the pleasure of meeting Tarc on 2 occasions, once in 2022 and again in June of this year. And that's how I knew Tarc. At Tarc, you can see Seve. This is Seve, whom I've known since August of last year. We have had the opportunity to meet on different occasions. Seve, I want to sincerely apologize for involving you in this meeting. Here are my family, my dad, my sisters are here. Tarc wanted to clarify some of the things. And before that, I'll talk about things that I've been sharing with him about you, Seve. I mentioned to Tarc that we were in a romantic relationship. You invited me for the lunch at Village Market. And from there, we started seeing each other. When I realized you're married, I explained you're planning to divorce. Later, your wife reached out to me, expressing her concerns about the situation. I shared with Tarc that you invited me to join you in South Africa. Tarc knows that you decided to step away from the business due to a misunderstanding about my relationship with him, which leads to removal of furniture from the Airbnb. That's the reason why you dismantled. That's what Tarc knows. So later, I made it clear to Tarc that there's no romantic involvement between us, and our connection is purely professional. You have been incredibly supportive since I left my position as Tarc's company. I told Tarc I was testing his reaction to see his true character in deep conversation like this. Additionally, I wanted to assess him because his attitude and behavior towards me had noticeably shifted during his recent visit. When he visited me, I saw his behaviors and the attitude was really different. Moreover, I wanted to be sure that if I come to United States, I'll be safe under his care. That's the reason why I told Tarc, and Tarc didn't believe me. He wanted to hear from you, Seve. Now, Tarc, now Seve is present here. You have the opportunity to inquire about anything that is on your mind.
Well, thank you all for meeting with me. I know this is an unusual meeting and it might feel a bit awkward for all of us, but I appreciate you making the time to talk. I think all of us are here in good faith. I want to start with giving Winnie the benefit of my doubts and be respectful of everybody's time. There have been a lot of emotions over the past few days, and this conversation is important to me because I need to hear things directly from Seve and Annette and Winnie so I can find peace and clarity moving forward. I'm not here to accuse or attack or embarrass anyone. I just want to have an honest conversation and ask a few questions that have been weighing on my heart. I want to keep this peaceful and respectful. It's important for me to understand some things clearly before Winnie comes to the United States. I hope that's okay. As I'm speaking with each person, I would appreciate you turning on the video so I can see you while we communicate. And if it's okay, I would like to start with Seve. Hello, Seve.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Ah, there you are. Thanks for being here. My first question is, could I ask where you're from and what kind of work you do?
I'm from Michigan. I live in Miami. I do real estate investing and I'm a firefighter.
Okay. And what brought you to Kenya originally? Business, tourism, or something else?
Both business and tourism.
Pardon
I have a
me?
group of business and tourism brought me there.
Okay.
I have a group of
All right.
guys that I work with. and we are looking for units for Airbnb and to purchase for real estate investing.
So who introduced you to Airbnb opportunity in Kenya?
I have a friend of mine, personal friend of mine, and someone there named Cydia the realtor. She has a
Okay.
YouTube page or Instagram page. You can see her there. Very popular real estate agent in the area.
Okay. So how did you get to know Winnie?
I met her in a group online. I'm not really sure exactly where, but I met her online and I discussed that I wanted to speak to people that live there in Kenya that could show me around the area and uh, basically introduce me to Nairobi. She started talking about in the beginning that she was able to, she had done real estate investing before or with Airbnb. So that kind of sparked the conversation.
You said you met online. Was this like a group, a business group online or a dating site or what kind of online?
I'm not really sure. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No,
Um,
I don't use dating sites. So it must have been like Facebook or something or Instagram.
would you say your relationship with Winnie has been business or personal or both?
She's been managing my units for me. I spend most of my time here in the United States. So
Was your involvement with Winnie ever personal beyond business?
no,
Okay. Um, have you had any involvement with Annette?
she's supposed to be the one who was helping me manage or kind of like do the business itself. But
How did you
I had to pull out of there because I was not making the money that I need for that.
how did you meet Annette?
To the investor group, the group of friends that I have there, the expats.
Okay. I have to admit I've been a bit jealous boyfriend as Winnie kept talking about her dealings with you. I asked Winnie to show me messages between her and you, and I saw one message where it said, I only want to talk business, which would suggest that you also talked on a very personal nature at times. Can you help me understand what it was in reference to when you said, I only want to talk business?
I don't know specifically. I think sometimes it's good to have a personal relationship, but maybe not more of a platonic nature. Also, to know the person that you're working with and dealing with. I don't live in Kenya. I don't know much about anybody there in Kenya. I don't have many relations there. So it's also good to understand who you're working with so that you can trust them with moving money and managing an asset for me. And I'm not really sure which text message you're referring to personally. So it's very difficult to apply context to whatever message you're referring to because I'm not sure of the conversation.
Through the Airbnb app, I forwarded the messages because he was like suggesting he wanted to see our messages, our conversation, if it's really business. Then he demanded me to share my WhatsApp. I gave him the remote control, but unfortunately my WhatsApp was not working. Then I forwarded the screenshot of Airbnb messages to him. And that's the time he took those messages and he started analyzing with the AI.
Yeah, at one time it seemed Winnie wasn't responding to you and you seemed frustrated and you kept sending the text, I'm going to call your family. You sent that about 5 or 6 times in a row.
Mhm.
What did you mean by that?
I think there was a
Before
situation where, go ahead.
before Seve answer that question, Seve here is like my family knows him because I was working for him, and anything maybe calls me and I'm not answering his call, or maybe it's like we're dealing business and I'm not available. He was like frustrated and he was like asking me, I'm going to call your family. So to know that everything is okay. So that's what the message was being referred.
I want to hear from Seve, Winnie, if that's okay.
The
And
only
let Winnie
time,
explain.
yeah, sure. Yeah. The only time that I called her like that, I think there was an issue with a tenant in a particular place. Um, I can't remember exactly which one it was, and I wasn't able to get a hold of her, and that was very frustrating. I don't like to be ignored at all. That's a big problem to me, especially when dealing with money or businesses. There was a particular client that we had that was complaining, and I wanted her to take very careful care with this person, and uh, I couldn't get a hold of her. I don't know what she was doing. So I was very frustrated with her at that point. And I did say that I would call her family, but also I'm a paramedic. So I kind of was worried that I couldn't get in contact with her because, anything could happen.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Certainly understand that you're concerned and you haven't heard from her. Um, the suspicion that I had was Winnie had told me that you and Annette were business partners and in this Airbnb venture. And so my thought was if you couldn't get a hold of Winnie, why would you call her family? Why would you not call Annette instead and say, hey, Annette, I was imagining you would be having daily conversations with Annette as well if she's your business partner. So my question is, was she really a business partner of yours?
Yeah, for sure. I understand that. That's a good concern, and that's a good question. I think basically, at the time when he was managing the units specifically, she was the one that was going there, and she was the host for the person. So yeah, I think that that probably would have been a better way in hindsight to deal with it, just by letting her sister deal with the situation. But I'm a sort of person that I like to have control. Winnie specifically was the one that was doing the host, and I don't like letting things go to someone for responsibility. I like taking care of that myself. Uh, and there was more dysfunctions to the business relationship contributing why I shut those things down, those operations down for sure.
Um, I'd like to know, did you ever have any personal feelings for Winnie?
Well, yeah, I think that personal feelings are more or less, and that's not something I typically do. I don't lead my conversations with anything personal. I think that most of the time I spoke about was with her were business and trying to learn about culture inside of Nairobi, like the places that are there and the parks and any platonic conversation. It was surrounding those sort of things specifically. As far as the personal, where you mean like if you're referring to romantic, that wasn't something that I brought up as a topic.
Um, were you aware that Winnie was engaged to me for the last more than a year during the time you were visiting her and talking with her frequently?
I knew that she had some sort of relationship with you, but I never really had much of a conversation about you at all.
Okay. I'm just curious, did you attend the Coito ceremony that we
No, I
had in
didn't.
Kenya? No? Okay.
I was in Nairobi. I haven't been there in months. I haven't been in Kenya in a long time.
So I'm curious, why did you pull out of Airbnb, the Airbnb with Winnie so suddenly right after the coito?
Well, actually, I've been pulling out of there for the last few months, and it's just that's the time where it happened. Uh, I have been discussing that I was losing money in that situation because I was financially backing the whole deal myself. And when I launched Nandwa, when we launched Nandwa, it did not do well the first month. And then I had to continually pay for that the whole time. I was losing money. I spoke to Winnie maybe back in May saying that, Annette, we're not going to be doing this. I'm not going to be doing this anymore. We need to definitely change something. We need to get the occupancy rate up. It wasn't up that next month, so I canceled everything. I put everything out. I took the furniture from the place and I got rid of it. I'm trying to recuperate some of my costs.
Have you had any experience investing in Airbnb previously to this, like in the US or anything?
Yeah, I have not necessarily Airbnb, but short-term rentals and wholesale. So I have a business model from my mentorship group, but I don't have the actual experience. The barriers to entry in Kenya are a lot lower than they are here in the States. And I think you know that Kenya is not as expensive as it is as far as real estate goes. It's not as expensive. You can get a two-bedroom flat for 40 G's yours. And here in the United States, especially where I live in Miami, a two-bedroom in Brickell is $1.5 million. So it's just it's a lot easier to play the market and try to understand. So yeah, that's the first place that I broke into Airbnb. But as far as my typical investing, my normal investment model is wholesale or fix and flip.
Well, okay. I appreciate your candor regarding your Airbnb business. I'd be happy to give you help with my experience on how I kept my properties 80 to 90% occupied. It's very possible to make a good profit on Airbnb business, but it's got to be done right. And I regret I didn't help Winnie more as she was working for you. But anyway,
So
thank you for answering my uncomfortable questions. You've helped me gain some insight and clarity that I needed. I would like to speak with Annette if I could.
I'm sorry, Tarc. Annette, she's not here. We have the family. They can speak on behalf. She's busy and she's working. She's not available.
Okay.
okay, hold on a second. Look, I got stuff to do. I don't have too much time to sit here.
Mm, well, I don't know if anybody can answer these questions for Annette.
Where's Chebet? Oh, okay. Where's Chebet?
She was here. She's not now.
I'm gonna take off, okay?
Sorry, say that again.
Unless you have
I have no more questions for you, Seve, and if you've got to go, that's all right. I appreciate you taking the time.
yeah, sure. No problem. All right, bye.
Mhm.
Bye, Seve. Thanks for your time.
Um, I was going to ask Annette about how she met Seve. And if she knew that you and Seve went to South Africa together, and for what purpose?
I was the one who went to South Africa, and I told you already it was for business and for the investment. As Seve said already, it was business. And I think that one you could have asked Seve already because he was here and then now he left.
So it appears that he has not invested in Airbnb before except with you, right?
Sorry, come again?
It appears that Seve had never invested in an Airbnb business except when he started doing it with you. Is that right?
Annette introduced me to help them with the business, Airbnb business, because Annette knew that I have an idea of what I'm doing, because she knew definitely that I was working for you back then, 2023.
Right.
Yep.
How did Annette become business partners with Seve?
That one I cannot tell. I can't tell on that on her behalf because I don't know. The only thing I was doing business for them as partnership. And Annette, she's a police woman. We are not poor, as you said, like we are poor, and where that Annette got the money to be partner with Seve. Annette, she's a police officer, and she might look like we don't have money, maybe we look poor to you, but she has things to do. You cannot just rely on police officer only. Like you have to invest on business too and do what to bring you money.
What I wanted to know is who met Seve first, Annette or you?
That one I cannot answer because she introduced me to them. And with Annette, that's the time I knew Seve. So I knew Annette told me about it, and that's the time I met them. So I don't know who knew each other. That one I cannot answer that. I don't think if that is the appropriate question for me to answer because Annette introduced me on this business, and that's the time I knew Seve.
So was it Annette that introduced you and Seve?
Annette gave me the job, and they were partnership
Pardon me?
already with Seve. Yeah.
You already what?
I cannot tell you how Annette and Seve met because that's the question you've already asked Seve and he has already answered you. That part, I don't think if I'm the one supposed to answer you. But for this business, I was very clear earlier and I told you that when I remember I talked to you and I told you that because of the ideas that I do have for Airbnb, and Annette think that because she's busy, and Seve is from United States, and Annette, she's here and she's busy. So they decided to give me the job to work for them as a host. And everything I was keeping you posted. I was updating you since I started that business and until the business end. I was giving you all updates, even when the business was frustrated to them. Because of the no client, I was keeping you posted of every details.
What I'm trying to establish is who knew Seve first, you or Annette? Was
I
she
can't
a
tell
business
that.
partner with him before you met him, or as he said, he met you online? He didn't say he
I
met you
think that
through.
yeah, I think that question you could have asked Seve, because I don't know who met which I don't know who met who was first, because I don't know if he met me first or my sister. I don't know about that. Um, I have to pick the call. Do you have any question?
You have a call you have to take now?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you need to finish this meeting?
I wanted to be brave because you wanted to be inclusive with Seve, and he was here, and he told you he's back. He's back. So he told you about it. Maybe you should ask him. Maybe he's on that position to answer your question about it. So I don't know he met which one first, Nate or me. So maybe you should ask him.
Okay, Seve, are you
Yeah.
back?
Yeah, actually, I just can't. I just remembered that you said that we talk about Airbnb, real estate investing, and your experience. I just left my number in the chat. You can call me whenever you want.
You want to just
Hello.
post that on the chat here, your phone number? I'll be glad to help you, give you some ideas.
I put my number in the chat already, so you can call me whenever you want to. We can
There
have
it
a,
is.
a nice conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky doing an Airbnb. I did it since 2016, and the first 3 years I did not make money, or I barely broke even until I learned how to
Yeah, man.
manage it and always make a profit, and I've had several properties and I always make money every month, and you got to know how to do that. So it's kind of tricky. There's a lot of people that just put it up and then they just wait to see what happens, and
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
they lose money. So uh,
Exactly.
yeah. I have a
Yeah, I
question
like to. I like
since
to talk to you
you're
about
back.
that.
I was just curious, di- who did you meet first, Annette or Winnie?
Hello.
Did
You
you
have a
hear
question
that?
for me?
Yes.
You're
Did you?
breaking up. I can't hear you.
Yeah, it says your bandwidth is very low, so I guess you're not getting this. My
Yeah,
question
I'm not.
is,
I'm not on Wi-Fi right now. I'm using the.
the question is, who did you meet first, Annette or Winnie?
Um, that's a good question. Everything happened in September when I was there because I visited Nairobi in September. Um,
September of
I
what?
think it was more so a thing September
What?
of last year. That's when I
Oh,
was there.
2024?
Yeah,
September of
yeah. I met a whole lot
24
of people
is
there.
when you met both Winnie and
Yeah.
Annette?
No, 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 no. No, that's when I visited Nairobi, September of 24.
Oh,
Yeah. Um,
did you
let
know
me
them
think.
before you went to
I
Nairobi?
don't
Did you
think
know
that's a
them?
good. I met Winnie initially, and we started discussing Airbnb opportunities afterwards. I came to Nairobi in September. I don't remember exactly when the conversation about Airbnbs started. Um, but initially, what I was trying to do was find. I travel around the world all the time. Typically, what I do is I'll find someone there and have like a local experience, someone who shows me around. I do it in Brazil. I've done it in Norway. South Africa, Egypt, different places I've gone. And so that's what I was trying to do in September when I visited. I wanted to see kind of like the cultural side of Nairobi. And well, during the day, I was doing my real estate thing with my friends. And then we were looking at some of the developments there. I don't know the last time you were in Nairobi. I think she said it was June, I guess. I don't know if you've been in Nairobi recently. There should be a lot of projects that were going on. Anyways, in September, we were visiting a lot of those. So Winnie was kind of like, not necessarily a guide, but she was kind of like one of the people that I was talking to and giving me advice as to what to do. And she was asking like what I'm there to do, and I told her I was there for the real estate investing. And after that, whatever connection she made with me took place after those initial conversations. And I met Annette as a business partner after that, and Winnie was the one to do the decorating and managing of the unit specifically. I
How did
dealt
you
with Winnie
partner?
more than I dealt with Annette.
I wanted to ask
Was that?
Annette some questions, but Annette's not in this meeting. I thought she was going to be in the meeting. So instead of asking her, I'll ask you, how did you come to be partners with Annette? How did you meet her and how did you decide to become her partner?
So, funny enough, uh, I don't know exactly what like the sisters' relationship is like themselves, but Annette seems to be a little bit more older and more mature. And she was kind of just like almost like a parental advice kind of figure. And Winnie was more of the one who was doing a lot of the work. And she was the one who was hosting. So uh, initially, I met her as a whatever person to kind of show me around town. And then that conversation quickly switched over to real estate investing. And then I met her sister. I don't think I met her in person one time, and that was pretty much it. Uh, After that, I more so dealt with Winnie as far as doing the decorations, finding some furniture. She was doing more of the footwork as far as the business model and making sure things were structured in a way that I thought was good. I did partner with her sister more of like a mature level of getting business done. Nothing against Winnie, but when it comes to business insight, it wasn't on the typical partner style level. But she was really good at managing and getting certain things done specifically. So I recognized that she possessed that skill to take a plan that I created or created with Annette and then implement it. Obviously, that was a really good skill that I saw, and planning. I think because you're a businessman too. You can't plan things and expect to just implement. You need somebody who can follow and is coachable. I saw that in her. And post officer, so she doesn't have the time to spend focusing on the business. But I recognize that one of the biggest flaws there is that I needed to spend a little bit more time understanding the market in Nairobi. And I thought that maybe I could cheat that by partnering up with somebody who's there and mature and understanding it.
So did
Obviously, it
Annette
didn't work the
invest
way I
any
planned
money
it.
in leadership? Looks like we lost him. Um, he's coming back. Are you there, Seve? We lost you there for a
I
minute.
didn't look at the receipts. Hello, can you hear me?
My question, yeah, you're back. My question was, usually when people are business partners, they both invest money, they bring something to the table. And so what did
Right.
she invest
I
in
think it
this
was. I think
Airbnb
business
business?
partner is a loose term. I, I think business partner is a loose term. here because there was no official contracts, there was no service agreement or anything like that. It was just, hey, look, I have this idea, agree with the idea. Okay, let's partner up, let's go ahead and do it. I didn't like to see how much money Annette invested. I came in knowing that I was going to be the one that's giving them. So I gave the money to them so that they can go ahead and use the units. And then I gave money to purchase furniture. I asked that the receipts were kept. I'm assuming they were kept. I never came and checked to see what was going on specifically. But for there was a shortfall, I was the one who would solve that problem for the shortfall. So, I mean, I was the financial backing in the scenario. And that
Okay.
was not supposed to be the financial backing. She was supposed to be the person who knows things of working in the government. I thought she was an advantage more so from an info aspect. And again, like it wasn't a traditional business contract where you have people sit down and say, hey, look, I'm going to give this 50-50. It wasn't like that. You don't have the quote authority to actually operate this in Nairobi. I need a kin to operate for me. Um, in order to do the next step business, I was supposed to establish a business and have a director, a Kenyan director for like a year or so, or 6 months. I can't exactly what it was. Group that I was working with, they were advising me of that. So Annette was really kind of a figurehead than anything else. Was
Okay.
supposedly giving me access to information there uh, beyond what I could typically get and read here in the United States. And Winnie was one that was doing the work specifically. So we kind of had a role like that to play in the situation, but that's as far as it went. It was kind of like a shotgun play, man. I'm be honest with you. I saw the opportunities when I went there, and so working with sir and my little expat group, guys, Americans that are investing over there, and
Okay.
most of those wanted to touch the market, see how Airbnb. And like you mentioned before, there's a specific gift of I learned the wrong way that wasn't the case. Now, as far as like whatever questions I had with net or meetings and stuff like that, there were a lot of meetings. There were a lot of meetings that I had with her. There wasn't a lot of business style conversations. It just went towards, what are the best areas to end? Can you talk to this person? Do allow Airbnb, and that's really that she grabbed for us. And then I was able to send money, and then I guess when Annette or whoever was there, who I was sending the money, I sent the money to Winnie, but I don't know exactly who was the one paying the bills and sure things happen. That's much it, bro.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time. I have one last two-part question, I guess. Was your relationship with Annette ever romantic? In a romantic way, personal
I don't have
way?
any romantic connections. No, no,
And my second
absolutely
half of
not.
that
No
question is,
romantic connection with anybody there.
was your relationship with Winnie ever romantic or personal or intended at the beginning?
No.
So I don't understand why you met with Winnie in the beginning. I'm trying to figure out how this started in September, how you met Winnie and why you met with
So
Winnie.
right, I understand. You know, the only thing that I can say about that particularly was I meet with her in face to face, her online, and that was surrounding me visit Nairobi as a foreigner trying to understand ways to go there. I have been to other countries, and I think you traveled as well. You know what happens when we go to another country? Everybody wants to, oh, it's an American. They give us a different price, and we
Yeah.
don't. I don't speak Swahili very well. Winnie wasn't the only person I spoke to, she seemed to be the nicest lady I spoke to. I spoke to a lot of people, male and female, maybe 100 people, and most most of the females, they were trying to sell things that I wasn't going to buy. They asked me for money, but when I spoke to Winnie, she seemed to be like a down to earth person, and I felt like I could trust her initially. So a lot of the guys that I spoke to, they were kind of like shady. You know what I'm saying? And the conversation didn't flow very well, and I felt like I needed to trust someone who can help me navigate through culture in Nairobi. I know I had my little group there that was of the people that worked there, but they still had the same problem because they weren't looked at as, you know, a normal person. They were looked at as Americans, you know. And you know how it is, bro. When we travel, everybody's asking for the extra money and they give us a different
I
price. And
understand that.
you know, it might be one price here, and then you hear me speak, you know, and then now the price is 10 times the cost, you know.
But
And so I was like,
fortunately,
I
you're
didn't want
not
to spoil
white.
my experience.
When you're white,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking
oh
about, right?
yes.
So like,
When they see a
so that's
white
what I was
man,
trying
then
to head off, bro.
automatically the price goes up. Yeah.
Exactly, bro. You're rich and they want to, you know, get in your pockets. And so, look, bro, I've been to 27 countries. Okay. And so by this time, I know that I want to explore the country. I need to find an honest native, like an honest person who lives there, to show me around. So that's how the conversation started. As you know, and you know, obviously, I don't have any of those records, but you could see, look back and when she asked me like what's going on, I was like, hey, look, this is what I want. I want to know what's going on. During the day, I'm going to be doing my real estate investing. And during the evening, I want to go ahead and explore Nairobi. She told me that she doesn't do the club things. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, well, what are the nice restaurants and parks and stuff like that? And that's how the conversation really started. And then when we got back on the topic of real estate investing, that's when everything else got roped into with the family and everything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have one last um, sensitive question.
It seemed to be like an interview between me and you.
I know. Yeah, that's just
How did I
hard
get
for me.
involved in a situation like this? I wonder.
Did you ever spend the night with Winnie?
No.
Okay. I need
Every time I
to,
come there, I have my own place. I have my own place to stay there. I have, my boys, they have some Airbnbs. I stay at those places, Kilimani. I'm not really Kilimani too much. Westlands, I like to stay there because it's really nice. I like to stay close to the Sarit Center. Uh, and she stays, I think, somewhere north of there, like 20 or 30 minutes north of that area. So I don't even know if she lives nearby the things or not. I'm not really sure. I don't know the territory that well.
well, thank you for taking the time to help me clarify my thoughts.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah, well, I wish you guys luck, and hopefully y'all will, trust each other and live happily together.
well, I need to take some time to reflect on everything that's been said here. This relationship
Yeah.
means a lot to me, and I wanted to give it every chance to succeed before making my final decision. So I appreciate you being here and talking openly. And if
Yeah,
you,
sure. And
Winnie
feel
or
free to call me
anybody has any
anytime.
questions of me, I'll gladly answer them. Otherwise, if not, we can conclude this meeting and I can let everybody go about their day, unless somebody has any questions of me.
No, the only thing I was going to say was feel free to call me at any time. I'm always up and available. I'm in Eastern Standard Time. I think you're Mountain Time, right?
Yes,
Mountain
we're
Time.
2 hours.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah. So like I said, bro, anytime you want to talk to me or if you feel free to call me, I'm available. All right.
sure. Be glad to
All
give
right.
you ideas on making Airbnb profitable. It's very possible. You just got to do it right.
All right. Cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Thank you for
All
being
right,
here.
bye.
Bye now.
Yep.
Anybody else want to talk to me for anything before we conclude this meeting?
I don't have a question,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe my end. Do you have a question, Chebet? Do you have a question, anyone? Hello?
They're muted. Maybe they're talking and they don't realize they're muted.
Oh, Chebet is here. Chebet, do you have any question?
Yeah, for now I don't have a question because the place I am right now is very noisy, and maybe we'll schedule the meeting for another day, and that's when I'll ask questions. If you don't mind.
You came in broken, so I didn't hear that. I didn't understand what was being said. You can
Pardon?
message if you can't, if your internet's not strong or whatever, you can send a message. I'm going to send a message here. If you look under messages down at the bottom, chat, and you can open up the chat window on the right. If can't understand what somebody's saying, I just sent a message to everybody. Send a message to me here if you want. Otherwise, I didn't understand what you said, Chebet. I'm not hearing from anybody. Is anybody around?
You can end the meeting. Just end the meeting. I think I don't have anything to ask here.
Okay. I will do that then. Thank you, everybody, for spending some time. And I will end the meeting now.